Good evening, everybody, and welcome to class. Another Saturday to learn. Today we're going to be dealing with a very important topic, and our facilitator is already in class, but the numbers are not encouraging. So I'd like to appeal to everybody to reach out to their party members to please join the call so that we can start. We've already given the grace of 20 minutes before today's class started, so we shouldn't have any excuses. So let's join the class. Let's employ them to join the class as soon as possible so that we can start properly. But while we wait for them, I'm going to be taking the citation of our facilitator for today so they can join us on the conversation. So today, as I said earlier, we're going to be dealing with a very important topic. We've already done the executive, we've done the legislative. So today we're going to be dealing with the judiciary and its impact on governance. And to take us on this is Sheyi Bella, and I'll be taking a citation now. Sheyi Bella, PhD candidate on the intersection of law, governance, and technology, an international corporate and technology legal expert who holds an LLB and LLM from University of Buckingham and an MSc in artificial intelligence. An MSc in artificial intelligence and technology law from the University of Law, a certified information privacy professional and an AI governance professional, an innovative and strategic business analyst from Harvard Business School with over 10 years of hands-on experience in the legal and governance field, specializing in navigating the complex landscape of global data protection laws, privacy regulations, compliance, and technology-related legal challenges. Equipped with robust corporate communication and crisis management skills, evidenced by our work with the University of Buckingham media presence and consultancy role with the African Union, Sheyi has a passion for human development and social impact. She currently sits on the board of Electoral College, Nigeria, and is the Deputy Director for the Southwest region. Ladies and gentlemen, our first leader for today, Sheyi Bella. And let's do well to inform our party members that the class has started. You have the floor, ma. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. So I'm sorry that my video is not on for now. This would just be for the first 10 minutes. So sorry. I'm a little caught up in traffic, but I should be at my endpoint in about 10 minutes. But before then, I just want to say to everyone that usually my classes, I don't necessarily lecture or teach during my classes. I like my sessions to be very engaging. And what engaging means is that, would have a lot of people contributing, would have a lot of people, speaking. So think of today's session as a strategy mind map because honestly speaking, there's not much that I want to talk to you about judiciary that most of you don't already know or that you didn't cover in secondary school. But for some of us that don't really, still we don't really know what the judiciary does, I'm going to give us like 5-10 minutes to do a quick research, maybe online or anywhere. 5-10 minutes, quick research about the judiciary. After like 10 minutes, I'm going to be throwing random questions in like I'm just going to be calling your names because I would expect everybody to be engaged. Please, if I call your name and you're in a place where you can't speak or I don't know, it's noisy or something, just drop whatever you have to say in the group chat. But I like my sessions engaging, and please, nothing like I don't there's no wrong answer. Like we're all contributing and we're all like trying to understand the system, how it should be, and what it is now. So basically, how it should be, the laws we have in place, our rights and everything, and what we have. Basically, reality check. What we have is different from our reality. So that is what this class is about. I'm not going to be, telling you this is what the judiciary does. This is what. Nah, we're not children. I'm just going to try to explain to us how we can all make our lives better using the judiciary as a tool for better governance. So everyone in this class, I see that we're up to 57 now. So everyone in this class, you have 5 to 10 minutes to do a quick research on judiciary. And by research, I don't mean, going online to see like what does the judiciary do or what the role of the judiciary is. No, not just that. Do like a deep, detailed research because I'm going to be throwing questions in another 30 minutes, in another 10 minutes. So this is 5:22. I'm here in by 5:33. I'll start training questions. Today, I'm sure that, by the end of today's class, I would even learn new things from everybody, from people here as well. So please, everyone has 10 minutes, you know, do a quick research and, anyone in the meantime that sees something and they're confused about, you can either unmute yourself and ask. But today's pre-class preparation is to do a quick search on the judiciary and and the role they play in governance. Once you've done that, I'll spend the rest of the time, you know, on application as opposed to rules. Thank you. So you have 10 minutes. It's 5:23 now, 5:33. And don't forget, I'll be calling people randomly. So please, no one has any excuse. Thank you. Do we all understand? Hello?
Ima, I think they do. They're not
Okay.
responding.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. Yeah. And you can also share, although we will not be following the slides like religiously, but at least it's a good guide there. So please, can someone help share the slide on the screen so, like, everyone has it as well and they can help themselves with it. Thank you. So I can see about 10 more people just joined. So I'm just going to re-explain to the new people that just joined because right now you have about 7 minutes. I want you to do a quick research on the judiciary and their role because when we get back, I'll be asking a lot of questions. Thank you. So I hope everyone understands. Hi, Falaya. You probably can't hear anything because you probably joined late. This session is on. So we have everyone is supposed to do a quick research on the judiciary and their role. And you currently have 4 minutes, and you're one of the first people I'll be calling. So hurry up and do your quick research. So by five, yeah, now 3 minutes. Hi everyone. So are we done with our research? Please, I need can can you allow participants to unmute themselves, please, as well, so that people can, contribute easily. And please,
All right.
everyone, once I call on your name, you just raise your hands up so that the class doesn't become chaotic. So are we
All right.
ready? Are we ready?
Yes, ma'am. I think they are.
So, you person asking, help me with the question. Now, wow. Okay, so it's not really a direct question anyway. So I think that everybody will be easy. So Oluwaseyitan, just because we're namesakes, you know, please, I'm sure you know a thing or two about the judiciary. Can you briefly explain to everyone? And by briefly, I mean about a minute.
Okay.
Explain to us what you understand by the judiciary.
Oluwaseyi, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
So just,
You can answer that.
briefly explain to us what you understand by the judiciary. I've told everybody in this class, so just for the people that came late, do you understand? Because I can see that we're now over 120 people here. I've explained that this class, I'm not going to be talking. It's not it's not a lecturing class. Do you understand? We're all going to like put our brains together and decipher what we think, is the way forward or not. Do you understand? And there are no wrong contributions. So please, everyone, feel free to ask or make any contributions. If I feel like it's all for you need a little nudging or directions, I will chip in. But please, there's no such thing as a wrong contribution. If anything, is when you don't even contribute at all that I will have a problem. So, Oluwase, you have the floor for a minute. I'm waiting. Oh.
I think Oluwaseyi is unavailable, but I can unmute Oluwaseyi.
Okay.
I'm here. Please,
Okay,
the network is
okay.
taking me on and off.
Okay.
So yes, the judiciary is first an arm of the government, just like the executive and the legislative arms. And what they are meant to do is to ensure compliance with the law and to
Okay.
ensure that the law is adequately interpreted. And of course, they are also supposed to defend the law in some kind of way. So
I like this your last.
that's my
We
contribution.
started engaging now. Like I said, this our session. Forget teaching, and also please, everything you think you know, put it aside. What Shay has just said, I like it. She said judiciary is supposed to defend the law, right? Do we all agree, please? Like, I need you people to participate. Host, unmute my people. Do general unmute for everybody. Do you understand?
Okay.
If your background is noisy, please mute yourself. Do you understand? But I want everybody off mute. Do you get? And please be respectful of others. When someone is talking, don't bump in. If your place is noisy, please keep quiet. Do you understand? But I want everybody on mute. Once you notice someone is already talking, please wait for your turn or raise your hand. I'll see you and I'll call you. Please, Shay just said something very important. Yeah, she's accurately explained what the judiciary is. Do you understand? So there's one thing I'll just add to that. Yeah, the judiciary, they serve as think of them as a tool, an instrument. You see how having money is very good. Yeah, but if you don't know how to use the money, that's the problem. The money is not necessarily the problem. It's knowing how to use the money. Do you understand? If you have money and you don't know how to use it, you're as good as somebody that does not have. Now, if you have money, maybe you have money, the money you have is inheritance, and you don't even know that they've given you this inheritance. It's as good as somebody that doesn't know how to, that doesn't have it. Now, she said that judiciary is there to uphold the law. You understand? They serve as arbitrators between both corporate institutions, private citizens, and even like governmental bodies. And the last thing she said, which is very key and important to this class, is that they defend the law. We all agree that we're not asking now if that's the reality in Nigeria. We're just saying for the purpose of this class, like the entire body of judiciary, do we agree that their major purpose is to defend the law?
Yes, I agree.
You have noise in your background, please mute so that you don't
Yes.
obstruct the class. So
Yes.
so we agree, right? So now
Yes.
a tricky thing, yeah. If the judiciary judiciary is an institution, right? Not a person. It's a figure, it's a tool. We've just explained the concept of money. Do you understand? So it means that just as money is, please, whoever that is, can you unmute? Can you mute yourself, please? Don't make me regret asking everybody to go on mute, though. In fact, mute when you have a contribution. So everybody should be on muted. But when you have a contribution, you can go ahead and unmute. My classes are usually very active, but I don't expect disturbance in the background. It's okay if you have things going on around you. Do you understand? Because we're all adults. But in such a situation, I expect you to be muted. So back to what we're saying.
I have a contribution.
You have a question? Did someone say they have a question?
Yes, I think it would be easier if they can raise their hands once they have a contribution.
So mute everybody. Once they have their hands raised, I'll call them so you can unmute. So please, So someone had a question. That was quite quick, by the way, because we've not even. Who had a question? There are a lot of hands raised, so just say in the chat box if it was you who said you had a question, please.
I think it was Lukman, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah, Lukman. Lukman, unmute.
Lukman, I've asked you to unmute.
Okay. I just want to make my own contribution. So.
Oh yeah, Lukman, we're listening to you.
All right. Good evening, ma. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Lukman Jami is my name. I belong to Labour Party.
Let's keep it quick. We barely have time. We're here. We can hear you.
Okay. My own perspective when we are talking about judiciary simply goes thus. Judiciary is a third term of a government that oversee the interpretation of laws and ensure justice is served as supposed.
Yes.
Normally, they are to be independent. They are expected to be fair, equitable, just, and fearless with their decisions.
Yes.
But due to some kind of a faulty system in our society nowadays, the prayer from politicians, prominent and powerful people, tend to do otherwise.
Yes.
So
thank you. And I like your input. Yeah. We're going to get to your input very soon. What you said is correct. Thank you. And it still goes around what we're trying to discuss here. So remember how Shay said, they are there to enforce and make sure like laws and rights are not taken for granted. And how Lukman has just said that, they are supposed to uphold the law, but because of like external influences, mostly the executive arm of governance and people of affluence, this is not usually the case. So it brings us back to our money analogy that I was trying to make. Yeah. So basically, remember how we said money is a tool. It's not a human being. If you don't use it, do you understand? It will not work for you. If you don't even know that you have it, it will not work for you. So let's think of judiciary as almost the same. Do you understand? Now, okay, the judiciary is there to uphold the law and is there to ensure that like the law is not, no one is in breach of the law and everything. But the questions we should be asking ourselves truly is, if this institution is there for this purpose, how does it help us? Like, does anyone know how Shay, like I said, the way she ended her explanation just threw us into this class exactly where I wanted us to be. Do you understand? She said they are there to uphold the law and to ensure that nobody comes and, is acting above the law or anything. So if we have that institution and we can see that in application in the Nigerian sense of things are not necessarily the way they are supposed to be. In fact, I'll give an example. There was one day, long time ago, over 10 years ago, I was driving on Lagos Road, and there was somebody that was coming, like a bus driver. I was coming, like it was one way. You know how you're on your lane and then there's another side of the road that is supposed to be going the opposite traffic. But this guy was coming head on at me, the same lane, which was wrong. And when I got closer to him, I was like, that, like, why are you acting like, why are you doing this? Like, what you're doing is wrong. Why are you doing? And he stuck his head outside of the window and he said, Emi above the law. Emi lo ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. For people that are not Yoruba, it basically means that, me that I'm above the law. You can't talk to me like that. Now, this is not anybody of affluence. He's not a politician. He's just like a normal guy. Do you understand? In fact, he said it in such a way that I looked at him and I started to laugh. And he started to laugh too. And we just went about our way. Do you understand? Now, my question is, what do you think is different in the Nigerian sense of things? Why do we have the judiciary? And it doesn't seem like the judiciary has our back. Do you understand? It doesn't seem like it. It feels like, Nigeria is lawless. It feels like everyone just gets away with stuff. Things are just different in Nigeria and we're all complaining. Can someone like, enlighten us? What do you think is different? Why do you think things are this way? Is it us? Is it that the politicians too safe? What's the problem? Please, I have some hands raised. I have some hands that has been raised since. I don't know if it's still raised for this purpose but I'm just going to ask Ojo Akinwale to unmute.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so this question is, I think everybody in the call actually knows, or everybody in the country actually knows that things look different because we're in a kind of environment or community that is not ideal. So when laws are actually set anyway, but judiciary is supposed to go and help us to interpret areas that are great to people, because different people interpret laws the way they view it. So so the judiciary to help us to interpret them and make clarity where things are not clear. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, some people see themselves as untouchable, and the powers that be actually influence a lot of sectors. The executive a lot influence the lawmakers and also the judiciary. So whatever, most times, most of the power domiciles with the executive, and they have that financial capacity to influence anybody.
That's a beautiful note to add, by the way, the financial capacity. Pocket that.
Yes.
Remind me in this class that I must, if you've noticed I've not spoken about that, just put it in the group chat. That's one. Thank you for mentioning that. But keep going. I'm listening to you.
Okay, so and so they aside from the fact that they have the financial capacity, they make some things which are supposed to be normal or normal or unusual for people. So whenever they do you a favor, they expect a return back. So imagine somebody in the judiciary that is supposed to uphold the law. Somebody that he has been favored by somebody in the executive or somebody up there that has money, and do you expect him or her to now go against somebody that's favored him or seems as if he has favored the person? So in Nigeria, those that have the power, those that have the muzzle to muzzle others, always have the upper hand, and they have that willingness to muddle things up to make sure the right laws are not passed. So it's just a case of you that you don't have. You have to have somebody behind you, or you have the financial capacity to move things. So judiciary will always look away to whoever favors them. And that's why, to make every one of them independent, they shouldn't be going to executive or even the lawmaker. They should have their own budget to be able to control their budget, so that any decision they make will now be independent. But that's not the case. So I think that should answer a little bit of your question. Maybe others will be able to answer more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Who just spoke?
This is Ojo Akinwale.
Ojo Akinwale, thank you. I have a lot of, you spoke well, but I have a lot of trashing for you, but you're taking this class to where I wanted to go to. So that's why, but you shall have a lot of trashing, but you've taken this class in the direction at which I wanted to go. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. We'll take
You're
just one
welcome.
more, and then I'll now go back to I'll go back to Ojo's contributions. Do you understand? Um, okay, we'll take two more because it's like this. My class is active. Now wow, all these Oluwasheyis in my class. These are you people are trying to bribe me or something. Eh, okay, let me take Oluwadamilare Sunday. Quick, oh, I don't have time, oh.
Okay, I've asked you to unmute. Damilare.
Yes, yes, please. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Oluwadamilare.
Yes, good evening. Thank you again for this lesson. I believe that there is an issue with getting the required justice because there is not enough, or there is an unhealthy relationship between the executive and the judiciary at this particular point in time. That's just how I'll put it. It's an unhealthy relationship. There are too many bedfellows and not enough collaborations. And the people who are at the receiving end of the bedfellowism, so to speak, are those who, what you call, some people have used money and all that, but I think it's just people who may be ignorant or may feel like they are too weak to do anything about it. But there's an unhealthy relationship between judiciary and the executive, where the people who are supposed to enjoy the benefits of the judiciary being in place are not, and those people who are not supposed to are the ones who are actually making use of the judiciary to have a field day. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wants to try? Let me see. Let me. I already have so many things to. Okay, Rosaline, Lazarus, please can you unmute? So for this session, you'll be the last person to speak on it. So unmute, please.
Roslyn, I've asked you to unmute.
Oh,
If,
hello.
I can hear you now. Hi.
Okay, good evening, class. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this opportunity. My contribution as regards to your question is, the truth is the role of the judiciary is more effective on paper than in reality. Reason is because elected people, break the law, but at the same time, those in power end up discussing what they are supposed to stand for. And at the end of the day, what happens is who you know supersedes what the judiciary is supposed to do, and what you have ends up superseding the role of the judiciary. So at the long run, the role of the judiciary is more effective theoretically, but in reality, it doesn't work that way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now back to me now, Abby. You people should not chop me, but I'm about to trash all of us. But you people should forgive me. What we've all said is right, by the way. Like no one said anything that is wrong, and no one said anything that is untrue. It's just that we're missing one thing, and although what everyone has said here is very, very right, the one thing that we're missing is the crowner for all of this. It's the thing that, it's just the crowner, by the way. So you know how in government class here in secondary school they used to teach us that there are three arms of government. There's the executive arm of government, there's the legislator, and there's the judiciary. They would even make us, there was this song that we even had towards it to, like, for people that used to cram, like that would read and forget. There was this song. I think it was judiciary, it was even legislative first, then the judiciary, then the executive. Although like for the past 20 years, like this, the curriculum changed and people started addressing the judiciary as the third arm of government. But whether one, two, or three, it doesn't mean that one arm of government is more important than the other. But I always say something, no one taught us this. Our government teacher did not tell us, and that's because they didn't even know better. I honestly don't go and write exam and say that there are four arms of government. So this is just Shea Bella's theory. In my world, in my theory, and how I operate on my daily activities, and even governance-oriented roles is that there are 4 arms of government. Do you understand? There's the executive, there's the legislative, there's the judiciary, and then there's... Can anyone guess what the 4th arm of government is? Just put it on the chat. I'm not going to ask anybody to unmute. Anybody that gets it first, that person, I'll owe you. Someone said military. Military. The media. Ooh, someone said, who's Abdurrahman? I like this guy. Abdurrahman, please, the host, can you give Abdurrahman, pen Abdurrahman's name? See, this is how it will be going throughout this class. I'll just be penning your name down. After this class, you expect something. Please, can you take Abdurrahman's name down? After this class, he's to reach out to me for a special. All of you, don't be talking. Abdurrahman, this is how all my class is. So, Abdurrahman, pen Abdurrahman's name down. He has special. Joshua,
Right,
you came too late. Sorry. Next round, be fast. Fastest fingers only. Abdurrahman said the people. My guy. The people. Do you know that there's one thing us as Nigerians lack, and which is the most important thing of all? Who do you think would hold the government accountable? Is it not the people? Is it not me? Is it not you? See, my class is not that deep. We would do commons. In fact, I try to discuss things in the most archaic, most barbaric way as possible, so that we will understand. Do you understand? So that, like, you yourself, you'll be thinking about it, that it's true. Let me explain something to you. We keep saying that the government is bad, the government is this, the government is that. And that's true. Do you understand? The government is bad. The government is corrupt. The government is all of the things we say that they are. But that's because we allow them to be all of that. It's as simple as this here. Let me put it this way. Let's say Abdulwasiu, Abdulatif Abdulwasiu. Let's say, for example, you are a normal guy, like you're a normal person. You don't have, no, let's just say that you're a normal guy, your job 9 to 5, something has happened, they've just let you go, you're down on finances, you're a married man with like 3 children, all of a sudden you can't really feed your children anymore. Your wife that loves you and is an understanding wife, after like 7-8 months, when the sufferhead has hit her, she's beginning to look at this man. She's still supportive, but she's beginning to look at this man that, okay, how far now? Like, what are we going to do? Your children that, they're your pride and joy. You probably have a daughter as a firstborn and everything. Your pride and joy, all of a sudden, they cannot go to school again because the economy has hit you. Life has hit you. And don't get me wrong, life hits everybody at different levels and different stages of life. Do you understand? Life has hit you. You're a responsible man on a normal day. It's not like you don't know how to walk. You are filled with integrity. You are everything. And then it gets so bad that you become hungry. Your children are hungry, you cannot eat. Your children are not eating, your wife is not eating. You know that kind of pain. Even if you've not eaten for days, you will not even become hungry. You will not even be hungry because the pain of watching your children hungry and suffer, that hunger will fly from your head. Men here, even though we're not that broke, I'm sure like the responsibilities of life, it might not be in that way, but the responsibilities of life can make us to relate a little bit. And even women here as well. Let's say we get to that point, and maybe one day you've left the house because your children are just at home. Everybody's crying that they're hungry, that they're not going to school. And you cannot take it anymore. You decide to go on a stroll. And as you are walking on the streets, you see money on the floor, bundle of cash. And there's a sign, maybe there's a sign that even no need for sign sef. You already know that the money is not your own, abi, because it's not your own. You're not supposed to touch it. It means it's for somebody. And if it's for somebody or it's for something, it means that money has a purpose. But you're not even thinking of yourself right now. You're thinking of your children. In your head, you've already calculated, my children will eat today. They will do all of that. At that point, you pick up the money. Do you know that when you pick up the money, everybody in the community, they know you as that poor guy that you are suffering. Nobody might even, the guy deserves the luck, make him go with the money. Do you understand? Nobody will really raffle you like that. You see the money, you carry it, you go home, everybody looks at you with, for the first time in a long time, with so much pride, like, my father has come with food. Your wife is happy. At night, you probably get one for the road. You know, you're happy. Even if it's temporary, like you've made it happen for that day because you were in need. It doesn't make you a bad man. It doesn't make you a thief. It makes you a human being. See, everybody gets to a point in life where, I always say this. When people say they can never do this, they can never do that, or they don't have a price, I used to say that too. But growth and maturity has made my prayer point to change to, may God not allow me see what will make me compromise my principles. Like, may I not see what will make me do what I've sworn never to do on an ordinary day. It might sound like a normal prayer, but that prayer is very strong. Now, this man that has done that, in the eyes of the law, he's picked what is not his, he's stolen something. Do you understand? Even if some people will say, maybe he find out for road, he could have, in a working society, he's supposed to carry that thing and take it to the police. Do you understand? But he's taking it home. And while it is wrong, we can all justify empathy and emotions. We allow every one of us in this class to justify his move. Do you get? Second day, he goes back to that very spot and he sees money again. Let's remember that his children are now fed. There's food in the house now. He sees money again. Do you know that at that point in time, he's not thinking about, oh, my children are hungry. He's thinking that, actually, my children are not even supposed to be at home hungry. They're supposed to be in school. He will pick the money, go back, pay for their school. He goes the next day again. He sees money again. He pick it, starts his business, goes back, sees money again, starts his business for his wife. It will become a routine. Do you know why? All this while he has been picking money from the ground, nobody has come to handcuff him. Nobody has said, the money is not for you. Why are you picking it? There's no accountability. He's just seeing free money. Now, this man has been picking. He's gotten to a point where he is no longer in need of that money he's picking. He has more than enough. His business is doing well. Do you understand? He has more than enough to feed his family and feed himself for probably the rest of his life. But it becomes an habit, and human greed sets in. All of a sudden, there's more things to do. All of a sudden, it's no longer hunger and school fees. It's now, oh, my container has landed, but there's no money to clear. Or, oh, my wife is no longer conducive in this house. We need to change location from one zone C to zone B. And then when you get to zone, like, needs, wants starts to amount, and that man keeps taking. Now, nobody sees where he's starting from. We now see the middle towards the end, and we accuse this man that, this man is a thief. Why is he doing this? Why is he stealing money? Doesn't he even care about the people around him? He should leave the money for the people who really need it now. But this man is so used to picking because he knows that even if he picks again tomorrow, nobody is going to come and accost him. So he will continue to pick. The truth is that most of us in this room, if given the opportunity, will continue to pick until somebody is brave enough to say enough is enough. Do you understand? Me as one person, I don't want, this man probably is powerful, so I don't want to die. But let me even call everybody in the community. At least one man cannot kill all of us. Let me call my fellow community member that this money that they've been dropping on the floor is meant to be for our transformer. We don't have light, but this man now has his own personal transformer to sort himself out. But now the community is without transformer, there's bad road. Let's come as a community and report this issue. But no, the community instead continued to complain. And as the community were complaining, the man was getting richer and richer and richer and richer. So rich that he became untouchable. Do you understand this metaphoric story? Can we somehow relate it to our present day issues within governance? Anybody? Yes, I'm getting a lot of yes. Good. That's how it starts. It's as simple as that. You see why that fourth arm of government that nobody told us about is very important. Now, if executive is doing their own, judiciary is doing their own, legislator is doing their own, what about the citizens? Don't you think that you might have a role to play in holding all of these bodies accountable? Is this class not past that one? No? Like this whole class is what I've just said, accountability. Do you understand? That's it. That's it. And I know that most of us feel like, who am I to hold a whole, arm of governance to account? Who am I to hold while getting there? Now, back to what I put it somewhere. I wrote it down somewhere. Yes, back to what my guy said, Jojo Akinwale. He said, favoritism between the judiciary and the executive arm of government doesn't really allow them to perform in an independent capacity, which is true. And he kept using the word, they are supposed to help us to interpret the law. They are supposed to help us to hold these people accountable. They are supposed to. They always look away in time of crime. When Nigerians are dejected, like look at NSAS, for example, where was the judiciary? They were looking away. Average man, they suffer. Where judiciary? They are looking away. Price of petrol is now, where are they? They are looking away. Average, like even the average Nigerians, people that we could even call ourselves average Nigerians are no longer within the average class. Everybody has dropped. Where are the judiciary? They are not doing their work. They are not. Now let's go back to the money metaphor that I used. If there's money sitting in the bank and you don't go and collect it, what will happen? It will rust there. If you have money and you don't know that you have it, what will happen? It will rust there. If you know that you have the money and the money is with you, but you don't know how to use it, what will happen? It will rust there. If you have the money, but you're even afraid to use it, maybe poverty mentality has dealt with you so much. There are some people that poverty has dealt with them so much that when the money comes, they're even confused, they're afraid, they will go and hide it somewhere until they die, and next of kin will even take is next of kin that will enjoy the money. What's the purpose of that money in their life? Nothing. Do you understand? Who is the they? The judiciary is like money. It's a tool. The judiciary is not a person. It's an institution. It's an entity. The judiciary cannot bring a case on your behalf. They cannot fight for you. You have to stand up and fight for yourself. Take something to the judiciary for them to fight with. The judiciary has no power. They have no right. They have no nothing. Yeah? Nothing under the Constitution gives them a right to say, oh, me as a judge, because I'm a judge, I'm going to carry you now and put you in prison, or I'm going to carry you in front of my court. Do you understand? To trash you just because he's a judge. No. There are rules to these things. Do you understand? There are like rules to it. The judiciary is an institution. It is not an individual. It is not law all by itself. The most powerful arm of governance is you and I. We are the only ones that can bring things to the judiciary. In fact, that is what the judiciary is there to serve us. It's like people who idolize money so much, they anything for money. And I'm thinking that, don't you know that money is a tool? It is supposed to go ahead of you, before you. It's supposed to make things easy for you, soft for you. It doesn't work. You don't work for it. It works for you. The judiciary is exactly the same thing. Like, everyone in this class, even Lawal too said the same thing. Throughout, when everyone was answering that question, they kept saying, oh, the judiciary is this. Damilare too said the same thing. Sunday, they. Who is they? Judiciary is not a day. It's not a human being. The judiciary cannot do nothing if you do not bring something to it. You see where the problem is. And that's what I always say about Nigerians. And it's not our fault. I suffer from the same thing. We're so oppressed. We're so beaten that we're just waiting for any superhero. Like, we're waiting for somebody to just emerge and we'll just give a superhero cape to him to help us solve our problem. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to, it's not going to work. It's not going to be that easy. There's a lot of, and because of how things are so bad now, over the past 4 or 5 years, there's been a lot of jackbarring, which I quite frankly understand. Do you understand? A lot of people have jackpot to the UK, a lot of people have jackpot to Canada, a lot of people have jackpot to the US. So much so that when they get there, you'll be saying, oh, UK is the best place, Nigeria is nonsense, America is this, oh, Canada is this, which is all true. But we forget that these countries are 200 years old, 300 years old, 500 years old. So much so that they are even our colonizers. We are 60-something. Do you understand? If you go and read the history of the Europeans, you see the way I'm saying that's how you be saying Some of us that have a liking and have a love for history, if you go back to your studies, you would know that bad as the bad, bad. Nigeria will not bad like that. Most of us here have seen we all know of the Viking series. Do you understand? It's a movie, it's a series, it's for our entertainment. But the truth is that series is very real. That's like most of like the European countries, this Iceland that everybody's gushing and gushing over, that everyone loves. Iceland, Norway. Do you understand? Even the north of England, our very beloved England, the north of England, Northumberland and co. Back in the day, they queue for sport. Do you understand? In fact, what am I even saying? In Norway up till today, I was in Norway last month, and I can tell you categorically that people still use axes in Norway, in some of the small villages. They are still in Stone Age. In some places in Norway, there's no road. We literally would have to climb the mountain to access the next village. All of these countries that we adore and love so much, they didn't just appear from the sky and become what they are today. No. It's the people that demanded for different. The people wanted different. They wanted different so much, so bad, that they were ready to fight for it at all costs. Eventually, they got it, and it is what their children, their earlier generations are enjoying now. So please, I beseech most of us here today that, when we're enjoying, the amenities and the sustainability and the stability that these countries afford us and give us, let's remember that it wasn't always like that. Do you understand? And whilst we envy that, I want that too. In fact, I spend, out of the 12 months in a year, I spend most of my time in England. So I do completely understand. But we have to understand and know that whilst we also want that, people fought for what they have. Where they are now, they fought for it tooth and nail. America was a bloodbath. America, you think that Africans have juju? Go and read the history of New Orleans. Do you know what it means for an entire community to be soaked in traditional medicine, so much so to uplift their country? Like, you guys need to, I think that when you're history rich, I'm not saying that where we're at in Nigeria is good and we should be there. I'm just saying that once you understand these things, you would understand that complaining and saying that, oh, Nigeria not happen to you and things like that will never get us out of the situation that we are in. It will take all of us collectively knowing where we are, knowing what we have, knowing what we deserve, and how to get there. Do you understand? I'm not asking anybody to be a freedom fighter and everything, because I'll just do my part, I'll do my best, but I'm not going to put my neck down, do you understand, and get killed because I have two beautiful daughters that I fend for and I provide for. And even if I didn't, I love my life. Life is very sweet. Do you understand? I don't want to die. But there are ways, like most people feel like for Nigeria to get better, it will cost this, it will cost that. I think that we're overthinking this thing. Do you understand? We're overthinking this thing. We need to, I know that you people had local government class a few days ago. Do you understand? You people have had your executive class. You people have your class of legislative. I'm supposed to be teaching on judiciary. But honestly, that's quite boring. I'm just going to be telling you what you already know in a way that it will not change your life. It will not affect your life. So what's the point? Instead, I'm trying to explain to you how to use the judiciary to better your life. And everybody in this class has referred to judiciary as they. Judiciary is not a person. If you don't bring stuff to it, it cannot do anything. And it is not even just by bringing stuff to it and letting it. As Akinwale rightly pointed, there's a lot of dependency on other arms of government, like the executive arm of government. So if even gone unsupervised, you risk going back to square one. Any small thing on social media, may Nigeria not happen to your President Tinubu is a demon. May Tinubu not do. I'm not saying that Tinubu is a good person or is a bad person. Other than him being my president, it's not, really. I'm just trying to explain to us that really, 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 by the time we sit down and think about it, we realize that Tinubu is not our problem. Actually, we are our own problem. Do you know why we are our own problem? As old as we are, we don't even know that Tinubu is not who we should even be focusing on. Like, who do you think you are? Tinubu all the way in Aso Rock. You will know that your transformer in Etiosa is bad. Really? Don't you know that Etiosa has a local government chairman and that's his responsibility? Like, is it God? Is Tinubu a God? Is he supposed to know that your road is bad? Or that your transformer has gone bad? Or that the insecurity in a certain place is so bad? It is only when it becomes a national problem. So we already know that the kind of politicians that we have, unless they are pushed, we are by ourselves. So I'm just trying to say that we already know this. So why don't we help ourselves by getting invested in these things and understanding chain of command? It's as simple as this. Where I grew up, we had a lot of vegetations. We had this ebelebo tree, but most of us don't know ebelebo, so I'm going to use orange tree as an example. Imagine, there are oranges all around this tree, but this juiciest and the sweetest orange of all is at the top of the tree. You cannot jump and pluck it. You will break your leg. And if you are young, you don't understand that even if you climb the tree, like there are some branches that are very soft. They are very fickle. So by the time you get to the top of the branch, it will break and you hurt yourself. But to avoid doing that, so when I was a child, this is what I would do. I cannot climb tree. But if I want to get to the top, the branch that is closest to me, I used to pull it. I'll pull that branch down. Do you understand? I grew up in Warri. I'll put the branch down. Once I put the branch down, I'll be able to catch the next branch. I'll put that one down. Once I put that one, my brother, everybody like in the compound will see me that Shay is trying to pluck something and they are probably interested. Them too, they will be holding the branch. We keep pulling. By the time we bend the tree, easily we can pluck the juicy orange that we want, share it, and enjoy our fruit. Please think of your politicians' positions as such. You have, like, quite frankly, like, how dare you, Seth, to think that Tinubu, where he is, probably discussing international issues, will know that sadly someone passed due to lack of, maybe in an area, like I'll use an example. This is how I even joined the electoral college. At the time, the hospitals in my area were out of chickenpox serum. That jab that they give children, they were out, and I kept going week after week, and they kept saying they've not supplied them. But this thing, like every country, your children's vaccinations is actually very important. Do you understand? You're supposed to have them. I kept going back. Eventually, when my daughter caught chickenpox, I was so sad. I went back to the hospital. I made a fuss, and that's how I even got connected to Kunle Lawal. And I think it was shortly after we started having electoral college classes. I was so upset. I talked about the country, how bad the country is. A whole country, no chickenpox vaccine. Now my daughter has blah blah blah. And it was after we spoke at length about it takes little changes and everything. And I was like, true. But it was that night I was not thinking that. Who I be safe? Say at the vex, say, at the time, good luck, no, say my child get chickenpox. Who am I? What am I? Like, do you understand? We place too much, like, It didn't make any sense. That's when I realized that, oh my God, that's true. As opposed to attacking somebody that does not even care of my existence, why don't I attack the ones that I can see? And that's how politics is. Your local government chairman will forever be accessible to you. There are so many times that in my previous classes, I've invited local government chairmen. Do you understand? To be on seat. And I would ask my class members, oh, where are you from? Where? And you would have your representative in the room and you will not even know. Is that not a missed opportunity? And it also means that you're just like every one of. I'm also guilty of it. I've done it in the past. I'm no longer guilty of it, we thank God. But I used to do it a lot. We're all just complainers. Because really, if it bites you so much, you would realize that these things, that it might not make the country as great as we want it to be, but at least it will make our lives easier. Gradually. Your transformer has blown. In your area, insecurity has, for some weird reasons, started to amount. You notice that a couple of people have gone missing in your area. They are kidnapping, and you're calling Tinubu. Your local government chairman just lives a couple of blocks away from you. Whatever you're feeling, you're not the only one feeling it. If transformer has blown, it's not only your house it affected. It affected every other house in that area. Why don't you all come together and say that, today's enough. Let's go to this man's house. At least if we are blowing heat under his ass, like if we don't let him rest, if we constantly sit at his house, have our banners raised, you know what? He will be forced to go to, it could even be your house of rep. They will be forced to go to the state governor. The state governor will then be forced to go to the president that this is the problem we're having in our state, and they are not allowing us rest. That's how you operate with chain of command. Honestly, that's how you get things done. Do you know that if you have accident you're not supposed to have accident due to pothole or no lights on a federal government road? Most of us don't know that. We don't know that. Your federal road the federal highway is bad. Class action. Carry class. You will be saying the judiciary is. I've rarely seen any case pertaining to all this class action case pertaining to road. Do you know that if they fix our road, do you know that minus ease of us going from Lagos to Abuja or Lagos to Edo State or Lagos to Kwara, do you know that even movement of your food, supply chain will become so much easier, that price of things will drop? Everything is not dollar. Oh, dollar is high, so because of that, Nigerians are suffering. No. Road can increase our quality of life by over 38%. Good road. How do you make it happen? Like I said, once someone is suffering from something, it is impossible that it is only that one person. Look at how things are getting done these days. Any small thing, by the time social media has helped a lot. But I feel like there's only a little you can do. Like, we've now realized that social media is really, really helping a lot. But we need to move beyond social media to active engagement. I would say this, during the End SARS movement, I think the End SARS movement was the first time ever that I saw a lot of politicians really, really, really scared for their life and that of their children. What people don't know that during End SARS, almost every affluent man's child was flown abroad. Why? Because they were genuinely scared that their houses would be touched, that they were going to be attacked on the street, that they were going to be harmed and everything. Like, for the first time in a very long time, our nation came as one and spoke under one voice. Unfortunately, we did not have the sustainable idea to move beyond, protesting at a toll gate. But that movement was so powerful. I mean, think about it. The politicians are less than 1% of our population. Are we really saying that it's less than 1% that is holding the rest of us hostage? Now, so we dance rich. Really. Like, there are some things that your chest has to move. Like, there has to be fire in you to realize that now so we really, really dense rich, that less than 1% of the population, there's power in number. Oh. You're feeling it, I'm feeling it, everybody's feeling it. So what is the way forward? That man that is always picking money from the floor is going back. Why? Because me and you have not told him enough is enough. China. Love that country so much because they are very tight-knitted. Like, they are so passionate about advancing themselves and everything, and they are doing amazing things with engineering, AI, and medicine. China used to be one of the most corrupt nations in the world. China. In fact, both my siblings grew up in China. You know, one studied engineering, the other one studied medicine. They speak Chinese fluently, read and write. China used to be one of the most corrupt countries in the world. Now, if you check the rule of law indicators for 2024, in fact, it's predicted that in the coming generation, not our time, like in the next generation, before it used to be France that were like the rulers of the world, that like the sayers of the world, and now it's America. I honestly strongly believe that baton is going to move to China in the coming decades, and they're already putting things in place. Do you understand? It's already, like, if you're discerning enough and if you follow history, politics, and everything, you would already see that path. They used to be one of the most corrupt countries in the world. What's happen? Everybody stand up, say enough is enough. We cannot take this anymore. They didn't stop there. Now in China, if you want to steal, they're not saying you should not steal or steal, but once you are caught, off with your head. They don't care if you're the president, did this, did that. I think it was just earlier this year, one of their top officials was executed by hanging. Do you understand? He stole money that was, like, you don't understand. People are complaining armed robbers are coming to your house, and you don't realize that you're getting robbed every minute, second of the day by less than 1% of the population. And all you can muster is, may Nigeria not happen to you. Are we foolish enough not to know that we're the Nigerians happening to Nigeria? Nigeria is us. Nigeria is nothing without us. So if you're saying, may Nigeria not happen to you, you're saying, may I not happen to my child? May I not happen to my brother? May I not happen to my mother, my father, It doesn't make any sense. You know? A truck that does not have tire, that shouldn't even be on the road, falls from a bridge and lands on a car with innocent, beautiful people in it, and they die. And you shout, Tinubu, or you shout, may Nigeria not happen to us. The person that was driving that car did not know that car was not roadworthy and shouldn't have been doing that. You that was seeing that car be driven back and forth, all of us, we did not know that something like that, we know. And sometimes we would even mumble, one day this thing go follow. So much so that once we even see a trailer, we give them space. Who is holding? Where's the accountability? When do we pause to stop I saw a post a couple of days ago, when you put red ants in a jar and black ants in a jar, they coexist, everything is good until the jar is shaking, and then they think that they're enemies and they fight until every single ant is dead. When we're beginning to make progress with ourselves, getting aligned, enters, or it's election time, let's move. Somebody will just sow a seed. Igbos hate Yoruba, Yoruba hate Igbo. Fulani, go back to, you don't belong in Nigeria. Hausa people are stupid, they don't have sense. Boom, bandwagon, we started fighting. How stupid can you be not to see and realize that we are just being baited away from the things that matter the most? How silly can we be not to see that? There is this so like I always say to people that so I'm very spiritual. By spiritual, I mean I relate everything back to my book, my Bible. And when I say my Bible, I don't even mean religiously, I mean as a way of life. I grew up in a Muslim home, so I also have an understanding of the Quran. And I can say that most of the provisions in both books are very similar. There's this verse in Deuteronomy, yeah, that strikes me every time I read it. Please, I don't want you to, I want us to take the principle behind this. Forget that it's from the Bible. Oh. Forget that. Just take the principle behind what I'm about to say. I think it was the story of hold on, let me check. It was the story of Babylon. Hold on, give me a minute. Let me bring it up. One minute. So yeah, sorry, it's in Genesis, not Deuteronomy. So in Genesis 11:1, I'm going to start from 6. Let me say something. Let me show you what it said. It says, so quick overview. There were this set of people, a whole community came together and said, there's this God, and we keep talking about this God. We've not seen his face. We don't know who he is. Why don't we build a tower high enough that goes into the cloud? Let's even see what is up, 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 up. Let's see where we will reach. Do you understand? It sounds stupid, but I read this so we have a small understanding. It says, look, he said to the people, so this is God now. Look, he said, the people are united and they all speak the same language. Focus on united, all speak the same language. After this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them. That means that when everyone is united and speak the same language, and by speak the same language, we don't mean English, we mean understanding. When everyone is communicating and have equal and one understanding, after this, nothing they set out to do will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse the people with different languages. Then they won't be able to understand each other. Do you see the Ojoro that God applied there? He knew that if these people collectively come as one, without distraction, without discord, once they set their mind to something, there's no stopping that achievement. So what did he do? He sowed a seed of confusion and communication, and Tower of Babylon was never built. Even if they built it, they might never have gotten to God. But who knows? They might have unrevealed a secret or two. We never know. But apparently in the Bible, God was so concerned that he had to, disseminate that mission. Don't we think sometimes that, why is that when something big or fruitful is about to happen in Nigeria, or maybe a bill is about to be passed, and instead of us to be focused on it, our rights and everything, one idiot will just come and say, oh, Yoruba people did this to me, or Lagos or Igbo people, and all of a sudden we'll forget the primary thing that is important to us, and we'll start doing Yoruba versus Igbo, Igbo versus Ghana. Why? Why? Are we not even tired? These people are not even smart. It's the same tactic every time. I'm even saying that they are not smart. We must be so much more denser that it's the same storyline every day, and every day we keep falling for it. Everybody that I meet, I say the same thing to. Even if it takes changing one person, from that person will go and change another two will change 4. When I started this class, there are about 100. Yeah, there's still over 100 people here. Do you understand? I want everybody go out. Enough is enough with may Nigeria not happen to you or Tinubu did. We already know that we've been dealt a bad hand. Way forward. What are we going to do? The road is so bad. There's no street lights on this street. And young girls, because their parents are not well to do enough, they are hawking this, they're hawking that. At night, some of them get raped. They get, but your chairman's house is well lit. Let's go and meet the chairman. It's just, you don't even have to aim for the big things. Start with the small things to improve your area. You get, even if it's street lights, so that the girls on your street can walk freely. Even if now on our road, don't you want a better life? This suffer self, you never tire una. Start small. Start small, start small, start small, start small. Forget all those big things for now. Pack and put them for one corner. Forget it for now. Start small. You deserve to have light 247, and Nigeria can offer you. Do you know that Nigeria is to supply Ghana light? So it's not like we don't have light for everybody. Nigeria is supplying Ghana. You know, Ghana is to, on Twitter, they'll be coming saying we have 247. It's like Nigeria supplies them light. Do you understand? You see, you need to be really hungry for this thing, and you need to understand the gift of starting small. Do you know that if you have light in your house every time, constantly, you can, because you know that light is stable, you can start a business that will help yourself, help your family, because there's good light. If there's good road, your business that is in one zone A can get to zone B. If all of us serve as watchdogs, do you understand? Your brother's keeper. If one person is about to commit crime or hustle somebody to a car, and everybody stand up, security will improve small. It means that your cargo from zone A to zone C will go unharmed, or nobody will stop you for bribe or anything. Nobody. You see how small things now collectively becomes a big thing. I've moved away from the judiciary, which is fine. But I'm tired of talking about things that don't necessarily improve our lives for the better. And this is how the judiciary can help you. The judiciary is not a day. It will do nothing, and quite frankly, can't do anything without you. You have to bring something to it. You have to bring something to it. We have a lot of policies, though. In fact, let me now bust your brain, because someone is talking about laws and policies and everything, and you're really, really right. But the truth is that, you know that this is our constitution that we're always saying, oh, the constitution is it. Do you know that it is mirrored after the country that all of us are jackpot into? I'm not saying our constitution is the best, but imagine that we have a constitution that is mirrored after the English. We have policies, you know, all these things that MTN or people will just be texting you randomly. That's breach of data that's breach of your private, you know, breach of your rights, because you did not consent to getting those messages. We have those laws. You have those rights. Number one, you don't even know. Number two, you know, but you know they hold them accountable. So how will it serve you? The constitution that we have now and the policies that we have we used it? Sorry, I break into pidgin when, you know, when like my chest is, you know, heavy, like when I'm really passionate about what I'm talking about. The one where we get, we don't use them. Forget we need new policies, we need new, yes, we do. But what about the one that we have? Have we used it? No. It's okay that our government teacher failed us. You know, they didn't hammer the constitution into our heads, like the things that they were supposed to be teaching, they weren't really in our curriculum. But we're old enough to want to hammer it into our heads instead. We're old enough to hammer it into our children's. My children, I've got 2 girls, age 8, one would soon be 7. Every day I apply these things into their life in principle terms. You know, things may not be working so well, but they know that this is not right. They know that, no, this is not right. You're not supposed to do this, do that. You cannot cheat my children. They will tell you that they will hold your neck until you do what is right. Imagine if most of us were that way. We are so complicit. We are used to this thing. So we just take it, and, you know, they rob us, we take it again. We adjust. Them too, they know now that Nigerians, our attention span is very fickle. You know, they will adjust. Look at this fuel crisis. They will adjust, they will adjust, they will adjust. And sometimes what we don't even realize is that we ourselves are the one doing ourselves. Didn't Dangote attempt to bring fuel price down? What happened? A few people were rioting because what? The fuel increment benefited them. But we'll be calling president this, president that. The truck man that always drives his truck, despite knowing that it's bad, doesn't he know that it is bad? Accountability has to start with us. We generally need to not only want better, but we need to hold ourselves accountable to do right. We keep saying, like I said, it's not an excuse for the government. I know that we've been dealt a big one when it comes to government. But you realize that sometimes even all these roads that we are talking about that is bad, all of these transformers, they are being contracted to private citizens. Like, government will not come and do your road for you. It's not the government or the governor or the local government chairman that will come and fix the road. What would they do? They'll contract it to citizens and individuals as us. Probably, we all know, probably the rich class, but still citizens like us. Do you understand? And those citizens, as opposed to realizing that, oh my God, I'm going to be flying on this road. Oh my God, my children on their way to school will be on this road. Will be so overwhelmed with it that they rather use substandard products. And after 6 months, the road becomes bad. After 1 year, the road becomes bad. And you say, my government is bad, or we have bad politicians. Excuse you. Your company, is it not your company that they are assigned to work on the road? Were you not the one that worked on the road? What were you doing when your guys were using bad? Why didn't you whistleblow or speak out? Let other Nigerians join you. Or some companies they will give them money to do something. They wouldn't do it at all. So we need to realize that it's more than bad governance. It's also bad citizens. Look at I'm not going to mention the name of the hospital. There's this general hospital in Lagos, built state of the art. Government released funds for devices and everything, equipment. The MD of that hospital and a fellow few members chopped the money. When people are sick now, they will say they don't accept accident victims, they don't do that, and they will say, Nigeria is a bad place. Our government is bad. Oh, we don't. Is the MD, is he a governor? Or is he the president? I'm just trying to say that in every line of duty that you're in, whatever your job is, are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Are you a teacher? Are you a lawyer? Are you an engineer? Whatever field that you're in, Nigeria has gotten to a point where it needs every single one of us to do our jobs right, play our parts well, so that the next life is affected positively. We all need to realize that we have bad governance, yes, but our issue is beyond bad governance. Again, these people are less than 1% of the population. There's probably something else, something bigger. It's not enough to complain. It is not enough to complain at all. It's not enough. Any little thing is not enough. You have the road is bad, or there's something going on in your area, and you want to bring a particular organization or a particular entity to take them to court. The truth is that the people that these things are affecting, they don't really necessarily have the access or funds, but there's beauty in crowd. There's beauty in crowd. Imagine if an entire estate, an entire community, decides to hold an individual or an organization accountable and takes the matter to court. And let's even say that it's possible for the court to be compromised. Yes, we do know that. That's our reality in Nigeria, which is sad. But the beautiful thing about social media now, public interest, when you not only bring an issue to court, but there's an overwhelming amount of public interest, in that case, the judiciary would, you understand, them too, they will want to save their face. They won't necessarily have there will be no other recourse but to do what is right. First, interest has to be gathered. There has to be a sense of togetherness. Then accountability comes in. You take the necessary people to court, to the judiciary. You don't stop there. Court watching and trial observation. Every single case is followed. Every one of us becomes a lawyer. You know that your area, the road is bad and is really affecting you. Transformer is bad. And government have said that, they've disbursed funds for it. You not say, thank God, no. You go and look, who did they disburse these funds to? Which company is in charge of repairing this road or fixing this transformer? Help them to start calculating. How much did they give you? You've not done this. Why is this thing bad? Put pressure on the organization. Not especially organizations that are the ones that they don't want. You've noticed that all these people now that they've been calling out now, they've been comporting. Pressure. Budget tracking. Track your money. Is your money? Track it. If something is wrong, lay out a petition. Whistle blow. You don't have to put your name on it because obviously your life matters. If it's just you, don't stamp your name on it. But as a community, they won't buy all of you now. I'll be all of us. No. They'll probably make an example of one or two and then everybody retracts. And because they know that, they use that as a threat. But again, remember what I read in Genesis 11. God knew that if these people continue to be focused, and because they've all come together and they are focused, there's no way they will not achieve what they set out to achieve. So he had to lay a seed of confusion. In our case, any small thing, tribal war has started. Any small thing, tribal war has started. And sometimes we may feel like we're too small, we cannot do this, we cannot do this. I always like to use this case as an example. It was an NYSC copper in Yanogwa in Bayelsa State. NYSC copper. He was posted to a school to go and teach, a community school. Community school that is always getting funding from government and is so dilapidated. No chair, no table, no nothing. Children don't have. What is happening? Single-handedly, he started the course. Eventually, the community joined him. But the point is that he had vision. He started the course. And you know that because of these guys, I'll not even call him a man yet because he's a person who just finished university, they do NYC. 87 million naira was disbursed by government to renovate this school. 87, almost 100 million naira. Now, the children are enjoying the profits of that labor. Everybody in that community. And you know what it took? 500,000 naira to file a court case. He used 5,000 naira to file a court case. And, with the help of social media too, there was relentless tweeting. You know what I said about Watchdog? That, when you take a case to court, don't just relax. Put your eye on it. Make sure that your investment is represented. And it did not take time, You know how some people will feel like it will take years? No, it was in March that they disbursed the money, 87 million naira. So the money is there. Remember my first analogy. There's no difference between you, man that has money and does not know how to use it, and the one that does not have. The court is not an authority by itself. It's not so far-fetched. The court is not for the rich. Small claim cases, in some places, 1,500. 1,500. Some places 5,000. Some places 2,500. If it's a community concern, don't do it alone. Don't go alone. If it's 1 or 2 projects you pick per year, do you know where you will be? In my community, I'm from Kogi State. In my community, we don't have network. Can you imagine that in this time and day there's no network, no MTN, no Glow? It took myself, my dad, and his networks, and and other youths. Before you knew it, there was MTN came, Glow came, and because there was network, people started coming in. And before you know it, road was fixed. Before you know it, police station. Before you know it, schools. If you go to my community now in Kogi State, you will not imagine that it was the same place that was like that 5-8 years ago. That it's small movements. Nobody's, just small. The one where your hand feel reach, pluck them, drag them down, pluck the next one, drag them down, pluck the next one. It's like that though. But if you are thinking about it like collectively, you will not be able to do anything because it's overwhelming. How many things you want to solve? So the aim is not to think about it collectively. It's small. And before you know it, you would make all of the difference that your community needs. It's really that easy. Well, not that easy, but you get what I mean. It then becomes impossible, is what I mean. Please, if there's anything I want us to take away from this class, is 3 things. That mean Nigeria never happened to you. It really isn't. It doesn't make sense. Because Nigeria is me. Nigeria is you. Do you understand? Before you are Adewale, before you are Miriam, before you are Sylvester, before you are Sheyi, before you are Victoria, before you are Emmanuel, before you are Mary, before you are Yomide, before you are anything, you're first a Nigerian. So how dare you say may Nigeria not happen to somebody? You dey curse yourself. Secondly, this hero mentality, let's trash it. No one's coming to save you. We are the ones that will save ourselves. Trash it quickly. Quickly. We need to start holding we first start by holding ourselves accountable. Please. Thirdly, we may feel like we're too small. There's not much we can do. But trust me, in our day-to-day lives, we can make a difference. I used to say, like, kindness really goes a long way. You're a doctor or you manage an hospital and they brought a bullet patient to the hospital and you are saying they have to go and collect police report first. We don't have a constitution that says that you cannot treat a wounded person without a police report. We don't have that. So why don't you make a difference in that person's life? You don't know the person, but that person has a whole mother, or that person has a whole, that person is loved definitely by somebody. And even if not for anything, to avoid Twitter people saying, may Nigeria not happen to you, do your job first. The rest will come later. Are you into construction? I beg, all these buildings where they fall, I understand that you may not be up in the future, but your guy won't use inferior material. Or you notice that the rod or the things that they are using is not right. Cover your face with whistleblow. Send anonymous tips. Even if you use fake Instagram, kini, use it for good. Little things, like the one that you can do it. Please. That's the end of my class. So my class is not more than this. It's no more than this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. It's always lovely to listen to you. As I was a student before this, and I really, really appreciate your class. And I'm sure everybody is leaving this place with something. And we're really grateful to you. So if you have any questions, you can raise your hands or drop them in the chat box. Oh yeah. Questions? Okay. So we're going to be taking Sylvester first. I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
All right. Good evening, all.
Hi,
Can
good
you hear
evening.
me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes, we
you.
can.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. All right. My name is Sylvester and I'm from APC. So
Okay.
a lot has been said in this class and more like a kind of should be a very more interactive class. It should be because a lot has been said. Now, we know that the judiciary is not is a collective institution. Now, in all what has been said in this class, from my own observation, I I I know that it is we the people that we have role to play as a people. But the judiciary themselves, the people that are here, the processes of selecting the chief justice of the federation and every other thing, every other people on the benches are not transparent and how it's supposed to be. And it's not
Thank
even
you. You've said one thing, it's not transparent. And you're very right. Do you understand? But goes back to what I've been saying. How do you hold them transparent? If we don't shout and hold them accountable, then remember the analogy I use of a man that keeps taking because nobody's holding, he's profiting them. And you're not complaining. You've not actively taken any steps. So why wouldn't they continue to do what is profiting them? So it goes back to, we know what the situation is. We know what is happening, but how can we stop it? Do you understand? Is me, this fourth arm of government is also, shey you know, collectively, your concerns are right, and minus the fact that they are right, what you've said is very true. But the problem is not the problem. The problem is how we handle the problem. What are we doing about it? It goes back to the very accountability that I've spent this entire class talking about. Do we understand?
All
Can
right.
can someone unmute Sylvester in case he has more things to say? Because
All
I just
right.
want to
Sylvester,
address
that's
that
fine.
before. Yeah.
with the country that we are in, Nigeria in particular. Unlike now, look at the courts are playing a lot of roles in all the rascality that are going on in this country. Because
One question, this
people
rascality that we're talking about, who are the rascals? Is it not me and you that
uh,
they're to be rascals?
no, we are not the people. We the people. I know
Uh-huh.
that we have our own shortcomings, but the
Uh-huh.
judiciary have a major role to play. Whereby, how can the politicians who go and get a court order to put an injunction from the citizens not to protest for their rights? So these are the things we're
Thank
talking about.
you. Thank you. When the court did that, where were you? What did you do? Again, my class is not to deny that these things are happening. I've clearly said it, that these things are happening. They're happening to us, and it is bad. We know the problem. Again, this is how I started this class. Everything you've said is right. You're justified to be upset. But again, how are we now? What the court has done is unconstitutional, right? Is wrong. But did we go back to them to say that where did you derive this law from, or under what precedent, or what basis? Did that happen? Please, let's remember the analogy of when you put something on the floor and the man keeps taking. What do you expect? They'll keep taking now because it's profiting them. Your body never pepper you enough to say stop or slap his hand out of that place. It goes back to the same thing. I understand that we're aggrieved. The situation is really dire. But until everybody wakes up, it's going to be the same. Just complain, 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 complain. You think that they don't know what they are doing? You think they don't know? But they know that all we have is complaints. So it's going to keep happening. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you in this class. That any small thing you can do from your own community or your handwork, the work that you are doing, play your part. This is happening, yes, but what can we do to help to fix things, to make things better? That's the whole lesson. That's why I did not come to this class to teach you. I'm a lawyer. Do you understand? I have a PhD in law. I did not come and tell you that, the law, we have a perfect constitution, or the judiciary is perfect, no, I did not come and teach you textbook. I did not come and tell you that, lawyers are saints or judiciary is a saint. No. I did not bother my time with that because that's not our reality. It will not help your life. Do you understand? I could have come to this class to teach you about law, to tell you that constitution, something says that you have the right to do this. No, I'm not going to waste my time doing that. I'm not going to waste your time doing that, because the truth is that if you're interested, the constitution is free. You have it online. And I challenge everybody in this class to do that, because that's the starting ground. You need to know first before you can even fight or defend. Wait till you know where you want fight for, wait till you want where you want then they break your rights if you don't even know. Do you understand? I'm not going to waste my time telling you this or that. I'm not going to insult your intelligence by doing that. We're no longer in primary school or in secondary school. Our situation has gone beyond me telling you, get a lawyer, take your court to case. No. The reason why I've not said go and sue your local government as an individual is because I know that you just want to kill yourself. Or deep down I know that won't necessarily work. I'm just trying to teach so that I can get out of the class. Do you understand? Collectiveness, like we need to know and act collectively. Minus acting collectively in our individual capacity. Always, do the one you can do and keep it moving. I'm not going to ask my child to sue the president or to go online and abuse the president. Do I want to cry? Do I want them to lock my daughter up? Why would I come here and tell you that you should? No. Me self, I won't die. At the beginning of this class, I told you that I like my life. Anybody that knows me knows that one thing. Before I die, by God's grace, I want to see the world. I want to have visited every country in the world, and I'm almost there. I'm not almost there, but I'm almost halfway. I like my life. I want to enjoy if the situation in Nigeria is so bad, the truth is that I'm not rich, but I'm not so poor that I cannot carry my bag and run away. I will move. Do you understand? That's the truth. If you are in that situation, you will do the same thing. But the one we can do, let's stop deceiving ourselves and be telling ourselves, no, there's no need. Where we can start from, the one we can do, let's start it. Yes. We have a judiciary problem. Yes, we have a governance problem. But let's be frank, it's, it starts with your area, start with your local government chairman. Then once we sort that one out, we'll be going from one level to another. That's it, That's it. Before you become CEO, you will go to school. At least you will work with somebody first. Please.
Right.
This class, again, things are bad. I know that. I'm just trying to... It's frustration that is making us complain. You can even still complain, but please, after complaining, give yourself, come back to reality and realize that we need more than complaining. Do you understand? That's all I'm trying to say.
All right. Thank you very much, ma. So before we continue, I would like to ask, how many more questions can we take because of the time?
Maybe like 2. Yeah.
All right.
My email address is sheibella09@yahoo.com. You can always reach me by email. And on Instagram, I'm Sheibella. On Twitter, Sheibella. On LinkedIn, Sheibella. So any questions we can't take, please reach out. And the guy that answered my question, please reach out to me.
All right, no problem.
On every platform is just Sheibella, so I'm not hard to find. Abdurrahman, I see you're celebrating. No, reach out to me, Sha.
All right, so let's take God Day. Izaz has been up since. Also, I've asked you to unmute. You can ask your question now.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. My name is God Day from APC, CDO Party. You you really have said a lot, and I have 101 questions at each point, but then because of the length of the lecture, I think I've been able to miss some of the questions. So now, you have already addressed one of the things which I had wanted to ask, which is, I recall the Constitution talked about the non-justiciability of Chapter 2 of the Constitution, and this Chapter 2 deals more on some of these rights of citizens, economic rights, social rights, and Because of that, it's limiting the right of citizens to take certain matters to court and implement them and get the government accountable, get these people to be able to do what they are supposed to do. Now, secondly, talking about mass action, in Nigeria, we have seen some recent developments that are funny to us, issues of protest, demanding certain things. And you see that some persons are even being detained, even for protesting peacefully, carrying out a peaceful protest or certain area. And the reason is that there is a government policy on this part of Nigeria. You're not supposed to protest within these axes. And those axes are very important axes that that protesting around those areas would really get the government attention, because you cannot be in your house and protest. And even if you do that on the street, the attention of the government will not be drawn without going close to the government houses,
The
if
truth is
it's
that
in
if we
state.
had that's why I said is everybody all hands on deck. If we had a reasonable press, we do have reasonable media actually. Like I'll give channels is really doing well, Arise is doing well. But the truth is that every country has that. There are some landmarks and there are some areas that protesting are not necessarily allowed, because regardless of how peaceful a protest is, anything can happen. So areas where they're under the protection of the law or regarded as like historical, or what I'm trying to say is that this law is present in every country and it's just to not necessarily even protect the people in it, but to protect the culture and the value of those buildings. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I
But
would say that there are
but
always
that
there are
that
ways around things. Yeah.
that in itself is also a challenge to my mind.
No, it's not
It's
a
also,
challenge, oh. It's just the way we're seeing it. Your voice can be heard if you people are. Did end up toll gates now? The reason why anybody would say don't protest at toll gate now is because obviously a lot of damage was done. Do you understand? You know, and the toll gate does not belong to the government. That's why it's tolled. Somebody did the road and put the toll there to be collecting their money back. There was a lot of vandalism done and everything. So again, let's not give the government what they will use to hang our head.
okay.
And
That has
the
been
truth is
answered.
that
Then,
sometimes, we can even be protesting peacefully, and it is even these other people that will come and sow seed of discord and make everything go south just to make it look violent. But it should not stop us. What I'm trying to say is
no,
that the law that we have, let's use it. They say we should not protest in some places. They cannot at least ban everywhere. Make your presence known in the area that you are in. I trust Arise TV. I trust channels. Even if those ones are not available, by the time 100 people or 200 people carry their phone and they are tweeting about it, it starts to trend. And before you know it, it becomes a movement. So they should carry their building and be going.
and then, okay, beginning from a local community, let me use my vicinity as an instance. In every community, you have these prominent people, and most of which are politicians, because for you to be prominent and influential, you really have to have that political power. Now, from the bulk of the society, a lot of persons are on the side of these people. Like, if a common man is trying to agitate for, okay, for instance, this NDDC light that is circulating around Nigerian communities and certain institutions. Some communities have not really gotten, like my community. Now, but there are persons from reports that social persons have actually gone for them. They have actually dug something and put up the base, casted some kind of ceramics. But we are now seeing the pole and the light. Now, when you raise a voice, I'm saying something that is practical, something that we have done, but our voices were silenced. Why? Because this person has actually earned some certain individuals and they are really parading for him. In such situation, do you think we could persist on, advocating for these things when we know that our lives are on the line? The bulk of the society, especially the youth, who should join hands and forces with us to advocate for these good things that are in possession of these people, are also the ones carrying on, threatening the life of these other ordinary people. How would these
And
things
that's why
really
I
even
said
work?
that our problem is beyond bad governance. Now, remember I said at the beginning of the class that but we have it's bad. Like our problem is not even bad governance like that. We have bad governance problem, but beyond bad governance, our major problem is bad citizens. Because bad as government be, like I said, they are just 1% of the population. Who are they using to stronghold the rest of the citizens? Is it not all of us? That's why I said togetherness. At some point, everybody just has to realize that nobody's coming to help us. we have to help ourselves. And it doesn't take 1 or 2 fights. Rwanda, look at people when people say Nigeria is the lion of Africa, I just to laugh. Rwanda, look at, you know that it took it took blood and it took time. But look at them now. Rwanda is such a beautiful place now, Botswana is doing so well now. It took time, it took blood, it took repeating the same circle over and over and over again, and not 2 or 3 or 100 people dying and they say, oh, let's take it. No, they knew that the people that have died, they cannot have died for nothing. Like, until we see results, we are not stopping. And it is not until then, it is when the government realizes that these people they are dying there, that's when things will change. Like, that fire, that seriousness, if it's not there, they already know our mumu button. Just silence 1 or 2 people, or say that Yoruba people are against Igbo people, or that herdsmen are coming to finish, we are scattered. Again, all this, we're just going back to things that has been addressed. All of our problems is centered around this same issue. Every single one of our problems, same thing. Someone said, why can't the law make provisions to protect the citizens who are peacefully protesting? There's who said the law, though? There's no law. There's the law makes provisions for that. Peaceful protest is a part of your right as a citizen. I keep saying that you people should leave law and policy alone. Our problem is not law. Our problem is not policy. We have all the laws. You think that they will call do you know that if you do not have the necessary laws, if you do not have the necessary policy, you cannot be called a country. For you to gain independence, for you to be regarded as a nation, a country, you must have laws. You must have policies. We have everything. What we do not have is accountability. I don't want to ever hear, oh, we don't have. No, the one that, like I said, the one that we have we used it? We have law. We have everything. We have it. We are just not using it because we don't know. We have laws, though, Don't you know? Nigeria is a very proud country. Very, very. Do you realize that our passports and visas is one of the hardest to get in the world? Nigeria is a very proud country. We have these things. Why do you think that the Lebanese are running to Nigeria? The Pakistanis are running, all these people that are running to Nigeria to do business. We have,
Thank you
just a
very
part
much.
of us. That's all.
So let's take Victoria and then we'll be done. Please, Victoria, keep your questions very simple and straightforward. I've asked you to unmute.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, I'm of the opinion that our problem is more of it's a behavioral problem than any other thing we think. So I am an advocate of mental health check for everybody.
Thank you very much, Victoria, for what you just
mental health check for everybody. Thank you.
Oh, she's done. That was quick. Please, what she said is right and it's true. That's why I said we have more of a people's problem. Most of our issue is a behavioral, like that's it. Behavioral issues. Sometimes when we want to change something, look at law school. There was one time they wanted to like change some things, and the people that went before them were saying, should be us that we did it, we suffered it. So the ones coming too must suffer it. Behavioral issue. And most Nigerians have that mentality. So she's very right. Again, we are the ones, like, we have our own problem, Sha. That's what I'm trying to say in summary. Thank you. And Victoria said the same thing. Like, everybody needs to, And sometimes it might not even be our fault. We might not even be conscious of these things, but it doesn't mean they don't exist anyway. So everybody should probably get themselves checked.
All right. Thank you very much, Ma. And it has been a very lovely session as always. Thank you for taking us. Thank you for giving us this precious time and this beautiful lecture. I'm pretty sure everybody is grateful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And to everybody who wants to reach out to her for further questions, somebody already dropped the link in the chat box. You can reach out to her, and congratulations to the winner, Husseini Abdurrahman. You can reach out to her as well. Thank you very much for always answering us, and thank you for always giving your time. We really appreciate you. And with that, I think we've come to the end of the class for today. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much, Ma, once again. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.